Hello everyone, today I'm going to be playing around with two new makeup products. They are into luxe category. One of them is easily available on Sephora India website, is the Natasha Denona Love Eyeshadow Palette, and the other one I have can be bought from Instagram pages, and yes, it is a more of a limited edition holiday palette, is the NARS Cosmetic High Profile Cheek Palette, which comes into a packaging like this. Now if you remember, I have shown both of these palettes in different haul videos and gifting videos. So both of them were technically being gifted to me, one by my sister-in-law and the other one by my husband. So if you want to know all about these two interesting products, then keep on watching. I will definitely tell you my lip shades. So yes, I am wearing Kiro Beauty's Lush Moist Matte Lipstick. So I've combined two of the shades. First up, I went ahead with Tulip Bloom shade, which is more of a pinky shade, and then I added a little warmth to it. So I added my favorite Nude Garnet. So yes, these are the two well combinations I love wearing a lot of times. Another one thing, when I'll be done with my look, if I feel that I have to change up my lipstick, we'll do that later. But for now, this is definitely looking good with my no makeup look. So why not I first push this hair behind, because if you want to see the performance of the cheek palette, then it's better you have a clear canvas and basically a more of a clear vision. So I'll just clip these hairs and be right back. So this is how the cheek palette by NARS would come. Very nice packaging. Like, this packaging really speaks out loud. I really like whole vibe, really like the whole holiday theme going on. And yes, when you open the palette, you get 6 cheek shades, and this is not a palette which will just open like that, so you really have to open it like with all the ease around you. You please do not drop the palette. So yes, this is how the palette would come, with a full-size mirror, and then you have these 6 shades going on. So for me personally, I would say like 3 of these below shades are more of my blush shades. These top 2 shades are more of my bronzing shades, and this is definitely my highlighting shade. Now this palette can work differently for different skin tones. Yes, because in other countries like US and all, they are considering this whole palette as more of their blush palette and then one highlight. But for me, it works as more of a wholesome palette, so we are going to use it in that manner. And yes, I'm happy that I can multi-use the palette. So you are getting like 6 beautiful shades. Now first up, I'm going to bronze up, and let me just put this hair in like proper manner. Firstly, I did a little bit of straightening on my crown area. I personally don't like putting hair iron almost for every single filming, because firstly, it's not good for your hair. Yes, being a content creator, we need to add few things, but I feel my hair looks good without ironing also. Now we have a full-size mirror, so we really don't have to pick up another mirror for it. That's a good thing. I really like these things in a palette. So what I'm going to do is, first, this is a very more of a deeper shade, so I'm going to mix both and then use it as my bronzer and see how the pigment is. So I really don't know how it's going to look onto my face, and I'm going to do bronzing. Oh, that's nice. So it's not harsh. It definitely has a lot softer touch to it. You see how soft it is? So now you see both sides of my face. Now when you see this side of my face, you see how clean it is, and when I turn, you see that nice bronze happening. I really like the texture of the product. It's not at all powdery, not at all. Like, I'll give you a little close up on this palette. You see, it's not at all powdery. It doesn't. See? It's not at all powdery. The right amount of product will be on the brush, and you're good to go. Why not add more bronzer and finish the other side of the face? So far, I really like the bronzer. I'm just going to take the lighter shade a bit and just going to do this. I'm technically not contouring my nose, but I'm just want to see how it appears. See, that's really nice. Like, it just gave that nice bronzing dimension also to my nose, and it's not looking patchy or uneven or harsh on the skin. So by far bronzer has worked absolutely wonderful. Now why not, let's just put some blush. So I'm gonna mix a lot here. So I'm planning to mix this and this, or maybe this or this, something like this. So let's see how it appears on the skin. So I am going to mix, so I'm mixing these two. I just want to wear something more colorful. Okay, I really don't know how it's going to perform onto my skin. Oh, that's nice. See, again I'll tell you, these powders don't have powderiness to it. It's pigmented in a very beautiful manner. So I'm going to add a little bit warmth because I do feel for winters it's very light. So I'm taking the deeper shade and just packing up. Nice. And on for the other cheek, I'm just doing this, mixing all the three. How can I forget my nose? Okay, another one tip I would say, or I would like to mention here since I'm using the palette. Now for this kind of a palette, your fluffy brushes would not pick up product. You need a brush which is a little more fluffy but has a little bit of denseness going on. So like this brush is dense but it has a little fluffiness on the top. So what exactly happens, it picks up a good amount of product and then it just starts depositing and you can blend it with the fluffiness. So you need a brush like this to work with this kind of a palette. Just a small information, because ऐसा भी हो जाता है कभी कभी the product is good but we are picking a wrong brush and we are not liking the product. So please keep that in mind. Now let's move on to the highlighter, because I'm excited about the highlighter because it is gold. Can you imagine? This is gold. I'm scared also. So let me just do a finger swatch and I'll show you. Okay, that's gold. That's too much of a gold happening. Let me give you a little close up. Yeah, see, so oh my god, that's way too much of gold. Let me just use this highlighter with the finger. Okay, that's beautiful. Finger application is really good. Let's use our brush. So I'm using my Pack 131 brush and just picking up with the brush. I don't know how much my brush picked up. Let's see. Okay. Oh, with the brush also the application is good, but I do feel the finger application was wow. Okay, now this highlighter is like a highlighter shade for everyone. Like, it's not like you are like a deeper skin, so it's only for you, or you're a lighter skin, it's only for you. No, it's for everyone. This shade is going to complement everyone because it is just going to melt into the skin. You can see how my blush, bronzer and highlighter just has come together and all of the shades are complementing to each other. So for now, I'm absolutely loving it. Now let's move on to the eyeshadow palette, but cheek palette, really amazed. I'm so happy to have this one. So let's move on to the eye. So after our face is done, let's move on to the interesting part, the eye. So today we are going to be using the Natasha Denona Love palette. Now frankly speaking, I really wanted to get the retro palette, which is still not available on Sephora India website, but I will keep a look on it. But Love palette came really close to it. So yes, this is how our Love palette is. You get 15 shades and all of the shades are complementing to each other, from mattes to shimmer. Today is going to be the first day I use this palette with you and see how the palette performs. So this is going to be more of my first impression come review video. Let's see how the palette performs. So let me pick a few brushes and then start putting some shadows. Okay guys, so I really don't know what look I'm looking forward to, but why not, let's do a look which is more warmer, just because it's winter and I really want to do a warmer look. So I am going to take a mix of a lot of shades here. So I'm planning to work on the shadows and maybe add this white at the end. So let's start putting some shadows. And I really don't know how these shadows are going to perform on me, because Natasha Denona palettes work differently with a lot of their shadows. So let's see. So I'm picking up, oh, I'm so scared. So I'm picking up this shade called Intense. It's more of a pinky shade. So I am just going to put it all over my lid. I'm just playing safe a bit today. And let's see how much fall off we have. Because I have not used the palette, so I really don't know how it's going to perform. So as of now, I really like the first shadow, which is more of a lighter pink, this one. And I really like how it has appeared, because I was not expecting this much of warmth in the shadow. Let's do the other eye. So by far, I don't see any kind of fall off with the matte shadow which I happen to put. And the shade name is Intense. Again, I'm mentioning. Next, we are going to deepen up a little bit of our outer corner and then maybe go in with a shimmer. So I'm going to take a shade which is more complementing to that shade. So I'm planning to take this. I just want to play with some colors, I feel, today. Oh my god, that's a beautiful shade. Okay, the shade which I picked up, the second shade, it is definitely one of the deepest, very nice berry tone shade. It has a lot of red and pink and a lot of things going on, but it is a very different shade to work with. It's not like my earlier matte, I feel. So this is a shade which is not to be blended too much. You have to pack it on certain places and then just gently blend. And you have to be very quick doing this. So pick up a brush which is dense, come fluffy. So this one is by the brand Focalior, just a random brush, which is more of your packing brush and a blending brush. So both the eyes are done. Let's do some shimmers, because I really want to put my fingers in a shimmer. So as I said, I really want to go in with some warmer shades. So let's see if I'm going to mix. I'm going to mix today. So I'm planning to mix this, or maybe this and this, so that, okay, sorry. So I'm going to mix this as well as this, so that we get a little warmth as well as a little bit of brightness in the shimmer appearance. So let's use our finger, because I really don't know how these shadows are going to perform onto my eyes. Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. You can actually see how excited I am to put those shimmers, because they are like, I don't know, butter. They are not at all chunky, glittery. They are just like very finely milled shimmers, and they are just like feeling like skin. And I'm just gonna take the brush from which I picked up that deeper, warmer matte. I'm not picking any extra shade. I'm just blending the harsh edges. But frankly speaking, with this shimmer, you'll not have harsh edges. And yes, so my one eye is done. Let's move on to the next eye. Again, I'm mixing two shimmers. So if I talk about the fall off, frankly speaking, there is no fall off as such with any of the shadows I use today. And another one thing I noticed that all of the shades are not same in formula, at least the 5 shades I happen to use. Another one thing that you need to know the shadows, how to perform. So my idea would be like, जब ये palette आप खरीदो तो थोड़ा सा practice करो हर shade के साथ, so that you know which brush to pick up when. If you are new in makeup and you are still learning, or if you are just interested in buying this palette and trying it on your eyes. So what I'm going to do is finish up my eye with the mascara, liner, kajal and everything, and then I'll come back and we'll do the inner corner highlights and brow bone. So here I am after finishing up my mascara, liner as well as kajal. Now let's finish up the eye a bit. So I did not do my lower lash line because you know I do that at the end, and I promise that I'm going to be using something different. So I thought I will be using this purplish shade, but I doubt it is going to complement my eye look. So why not go in with this shade itself, because it looks very nice. It's just that it is a very tricky shade. So I'm going to go very slow and maybe work out in batches, like small portion. Oh, beautiful. Now this shadow can actually be worked as, you can actually work this shadow as more of a liner also. If you have a nice packing brush, just pack the shadow and I think it will be done. That's really nice. It's really complementing the eye, and now my eye has come together. So always do your lower lash line, do not miss them. And now finish up the eye with some inner corner highlight as well as brow bone. So I'm gonna take something from the palette itself. So I'm planning to take this little shadow here because this will complement. So I'm gonna take more of a very thin packing brush and I'm gonna go in directly. So there I have my inner corner highlights done and my brow bone. Again, this shimmer is very fine and you do not need a very fluffy brush to work with the shimmer, or else it can get a little glittery. So yes, there I have my eyes ready. Why not talk about these two products very quickly and then give my final thoughts. So after finishing the eye and just retouching my lipstick, I gave a little bit more warmth to my lipstick by adding the nude garnet shade by Kiro. So yes, this is how I look. I absolutely love my face today. Oh my god, I just love the shine my face has. It is because of the cheek palette I've used. So talking about the cheek palette, the NARS high profile cheek palette, you get total 18 grams of product here. Each pan has 3 grams. Now frankly speaking, this is not the palette made for everyone. Why did I say that? Because the pans are pressed way too hard. The product doesn't move here and there. So if you run your brush, the product is just going to be onto your brush. You're not going to see product slipping here and there. So sometimes you may feel, अरे product लगा भी कि नहीं, ये वाली feeling आ सकती है. हाँ, this is why I told you this is not the product made for everyone, because sometimes we are so used to our products जो थोड़ा जिनमें थोड़ा texture होता है, जिसमें थोड़ा kickback होता है, we like it, we see it visibly with our eyes, so we are like ऐसा ही होता है. तो अगर वैसा नहीं दिखता है तो फिर थोड़ा अजीब सा लगता है. तो वो वाली बात हो सकती है इस पैलेट के साथ. आई एम गिविंग यू द रिव्यू इन अ वे अ नॉर्मल कंज्यूमर वुड सी. मैं भी ऐसा फील करती हूँ कभी कभी. तो जब मैं अपने ब्रश को इसमें डिप कर रही थी बार बार, तो मुझे लगा था प्रोडक्ट आ भी रहा है कि नहीं ब्रश पे, बट मैं जब चीक्स पे लगा रही थी तो इट वॉज अपीयरिंग. सो दैट्स हाउ दीज pans are. Now pigmentation is beautiful, blendability extremely well. It just blended like butter onto my skin. You can see it. It is not harsh. Like the highlight itself is so skin-like, and the bronzer, the blush, it has just melted into my skin. So all in all the 6 shades are performing onto my skin. The blushes I had to basically just run over in all the 3 pans and use it together. It looked so beautiful, so well done. I just love how my whole face looks today. Seriously, it's like no joke. So yes, pigmentation, the formula, the blendability is amazing. These are not matte cheek products. They have a nice shine going on, but it's not chunky, no powder, nothing. It's very sheen, but it just sits beautifully onto the skin. So if you're a person who has a dry skin, you can get this. It is going to look very nice onto the skin. Other thing which I do feel with this palette is like, if you are a person who's into her aging, who has a textured skin, will enjoy this palette, because this is one product which just gets like melts into the skin. It doesn't look powdery or chunky. So yes, this is something which is going to be loved by people who have aged skin, or who are jumping into aging and want to go a little high maintenance with the cheek products. That's how I see it. So this is something which you can go for, but otherwise, is it a must-have? No. But if you really want to buy it, if you have that kind of money and you feel that yes, मैं यूज करूंगी, मेरे लिए बना है ये, then get it. Otherwise you can totally skip it. Jumping on to another exciting product, but this one I see a lot of you gravitating towards, is the Natasha Denona Love Palette. Now this palette का एक बहुत ही अजीब सी बात है that it will have a lot of your fingerprints. So you really have to clean your palettes. Like this one has like a million fingerprints of mine. I need to really clean it up. So yes, I have these sanitizing wipes which I have shown it to you in a haul video. I will take out that and sanitize it well. Now this palette, I bought it from Sephora India website and I paid 4,000 something. I saved 2,000 on this purchase. It had 20% discount and additional 10%. कुछ ऐसा लग के I saved close to 2,000. And this palette will originally cost you for 6,500, and you get a lot of Natasha Denona products on Sephora India website. Do check out. This is how the palette would come. Nice full-size mirror, and then you get 15 shadows here. Absolutely love the whole shadow story, the way they are being aligned, and yes, the shadows are pretty much different by far what I have used. Now let me close the palette. Now the mattes are pigmented, but not all mattes are same. Like the first shade I happen to use on my eyes blended up easily, like it is more of a blending shadow. But the other shade which I happen to pack it on the corner, that one you cannot be picking up with your fluffier brush, because I feel that अगर आपने कहीं पे उसे रख दिया and then you start blending, it can get a little patchy. So you need to have a brush which has a more of a packing as well as blending bristles. So yes, you have these kind of brushes in your eye brushes. So yes, you have to pick up the right brushes for this kind of a palette if you're using one. Now the shimmers are also different. Not all the shimmers are similar in like formula and texture, but I did feel the shimmers I happen to use today, the ones which I used it on my lid, are very fine, not at all chunky, no glitter and no fall off. And the last shimmer which I happen to use for my inner corners and my brow bone, I felt if I will not pick up a right brush, or if I can use my fingers would be the best option, then it will just show up more better, because it has a little bit of glitter but not too much. So yes, this palette has a lot of variety going on, and to play around, if you want to know the palette, play around with the palette, but you will not be disappointed. So yes, I am excited. I loved how the formula is. So shimmer, matte, absolutely well done. And I still have to learn a lot about Natasha Denona palettes, because I've never used any. I've not done any education on it. मैंने ये खरीदा, आज मैंने आपके सामने पहली बार use किया, and this is my first impression. But all in all, I'm definitely happy with this purchase of mine. I see myself using this a lot because I just love these shadows on my eyes, and I'm absolutely loving the whole eye look as well as my face today. This palette is definitely 10 on 10. One of the palettes which you can buy because they have a lot of options. So yes, I was confused in lot many, but this one is definitely one of the best. And in future, if I find something more exciting, I will definitely grab it. If anything else you have it in your mind, do let me know through your comments. There you know all about the Natasha Denona as well as the NARS Cheek Palette. Everything will be linked and listed in my description if you want to grab one for yourself. But the Natasha Denona palette is easily available on Sephora India website, and the NARS palette you can get it from any Instagram page. I will be here soon with some more exciting reviews, some more makeup, some more skincare. Consider subscribing and following me on my Instagram. Till then, you take care, and I'll see you in my next one.